Thank you for joining us for this energy update. The sun is shining on the power of mindfulness, the power and the beauty of mindful awareness in your present moments. Thank you for joining the Free to Be Free portal. I'm Julia Ananda, your host, and I'm here with Gene Keys guide and astrologer, Margaret Miller. Margaret is going to weave together her energetic insights with Gene Key 33 and the Sabian symbols. Margaret, thank you so much for bringing this forth.
You're so welcome, Julia. And I love how you are celebrating this power of mindfulness. I think that this is exactly what we want to be doing, is really uh, bringing our attention to this opportunity for us to really become more mindful in our day, in this period of time when the sun is shining on the 33rd gene key, which is the shadow of forgetting, the gift of mindfulness, and the Siddhi of Revelation. And there are also several Sabian symbols that you said we're definitely going to talk about. And we are in Leo. Uh, we're now well into the Leo season, which is, of course, a fire sign. And Leo is ruled by the sun. And so it really asks us to shine the light on ourselves and to allow ourselves to see um, what's there more clearly. Okay, that would be at its highest level, would be to shine the light on uh, it wants to shine the light only on the best parts of ourselves, but that's, it will also shine the light into the shadows so that more can be revealed and can be worked through and resolved. Okay, so that's sort of where I want to start with this. So the Sabian symbols, for those of you who might be joining for the first time, are word pictures. There are 360, one for each degree of the zodiac, beautiful word pictures that are putting forth a particular archetypal energy associated with each degree. So we're starting with Leo 9, and the word picture there is glassblowers shape beautiful creations or beautiful vases with their controlled breathing. And I really love this symbol, and to sort of weave it in with the 33rd gene key, you can see how, the glass blower takes the raw material, the physical reality, and sort of the dualistic reality, takes that sand and applies the creative passion, the creative fire, applies the fire to that sand and utilizes spirit, that controlled breath, to make this beautiful, to reveal, right, this beautiful form, this beautiful creation. And so you kind of can feel how that weaves together well with this gene key, where we remember who we are through our application of that spark, that divine spark, that fire, that passionate fire, and the utilization of our spirit, the utilization of our breath. And it reveals the beauty of us as creators. Okay, so that's Leo 9. So Leo 10, early morning dew sparkles as sunlight floods the fields. And so this Sabian symbol talks about it refers to that incredible refreshment that happens at the dawn. And it's after, it can be like after the dark night of the soul, right? When the person has gone through and utilized the strength of their being and gone through the darkness, and then the light shining on the tears, on the moisture that has been left behind, it reveals these sparkling jewels, right? So it reminds us that through our struggles, through our suffering, there are these incredible gifts that come. And it comes through that ability to have mindful awareness, to be aware when we're going through a dark night of the soul, or to be aware when we're acting in a way that isn't in our best interest, or even if we can't stop it in that moment, that awareness, that it becomes mindfulness. And then, the truth can be revealed to us through our willingness to stay mindful. Okay. So then Leo 11, children play on a swing hanging from the branches of a huge oak tree. So this huge old oak tree has these giant branches that are easily able to handle the weight of the children, on the swing. And I like the symbolism of it has to do with the tree itself is like the ancestors, or the tree of life, right? And the branches are all of the avatars, all of the wise beings who have come throughout time, and we're the little children swinging on the swing, not remembering really who we are or what we're doing, but we are sheltered by this tree, and we are loved and nurtured and witnessed. And in those moments, of swinging back and forth, we get a glimpse of who we really are. We have moments of remembering, you can imagine yourself sort of that feeling of flying, right, when you're swinging on the swing, and you can feel, and somehow there'll be like this glimpse of remembering who we really are, and becoming a member of the whole once again, and that we were never separate. And so yes, there's a lot more there that I could go, but I think I better move on. Leo 12, an evening party on a lawn illuminated by fancy lanterns. Okay, so there's this party. It's, sounds like it's sort of a refined party with fancy lanterns on a groomed lawn. And so it's this energy of really allowing ourselves to relax into enjoyment of each other, and enjoyment of beauty, of the beautiful surroundings, and the cultivation of those things. Like the fancy lanterns speak to sort of cultivating the illumination, cultivating the mind. And so it can be like another symbol of mindfulness, where we purposefully take those breaks, take those pauses, to allow ourselves to enjoy each other. Because, really our greatest teachers are always through relationship, right? And if we don't take the time to pause, and to enjoy each other's company, then we miss out on these incredible opportunities for remembering each other and who we all are. So then Leo 13, an old sea captain rocking himself on the porch of his cottage. And so I loved this one, because you can feel sort of at least I can feel this sea captain who has been had many adventures, and many learnings, many, lessons that have come through his adventures on the sea, and the sea representing our consciousness, or the deep unconsciousness, or the super consciousness, if you want to. And he's been, riding the waves of this for his life, and now he is rocking on his porch on land, right? And reminiscing, looking back and finding the wisdom, finding the jewels, finding the memories that are good, looking for the good in his life, looking for the things that he wants to bring forward or bring with him on his next journey, maybe, or next lifetime. And this is something that Richard Rudd talks about quite beautifully in this in the book, talking about the 33rd gene key and the mindfulness, that really our memories are sort of what keep us in the illusion, like making these memories, but it's only because we tend to remember the bad things, the things that we didn't like, the things that we are the mistakes that we made, and we'll replay those over and over and over again, keep ourselves in this loop of despair, kind of, with our memories. But if we were to stay in a practice of sort of a daily recapitulation, for example, and look for what was the best thing that happened today, what was the absolute best thing that happened today, or that happened this week, or that happened this year, and we were to cultivate those, and to have some sort of a recording of those things, that we would then be in this fully in the present moment, cultivating more beauty, and sort of letting ourselves off of the hook of negativity and negative karma, and it doesn't mean ignoring the things that didn't go well, because it's hard to ignore those things. Our mind, will be reminded of those things, but to really put the focus on what was the best thing that happened, and how can I cultivate more of that. So I love that old sea captain. He's very wise. Then Leo 14 is the last one here, and it is a human soul seeking opportunities for expression. Okay, and so this is a really kind of an interesting symbol, right? Where the human soul is sort of waiting for its opportunity for incarnation, right? Or it's waiting for it, how it's going to be expressed. And part of that expression has been, at least in past eras, maybe we're moving out of this now. Maybe this is changing now, where we don't have to forget in order to come in. And what if we were to remember? And what if we're remembering right now who we really are, right? Through this mindfulness, through this witnessing, right? What could we actualize? What could we manifest in our lives if we remembered who we really are? And in that human soul coming in that way, without that forgetting. And so I just love sort of playing with those symbols and feeling the energy of that. And I wanted to just kind of go a little bit farther with this idea of witnessing, that mindfulness really has to do with becoming the witness. And when I've taught energy work in the past, and especially Reiki, I taught it more as a um, sort of a mindfulness practice rather than a modality, even though, I, of course, showed people that they could use the energy coming through their hands to do healing work, but that this was a way for us to become stewards of our own energy. And really it's a mindfulness practice, like being aware of what we are doing with our energy, where we're putting our focus, how we are focusing it. And part of that, part of the teaching in that is becoming the witness, witnessing yourself in each moment, witnessing what you're doing, like just stepping back and witnessing yourself right now, watching this video, or I'm sitting here right now speaking on this video, and I can witness myself. I can step back and witness myself doing that. Okay, so becoming that witness gives me an opportunity to know what the energy feels like and looks like, and how it sounds, and all of those things, so I can become the witness of that. Then one layer back from that, if I step one step farther back from that, I can witness myself witnessing myself. So who is it, or what is it that is watching me? So I would call that my higher self, or my angelic self. And so then I can see that that higher self is just witnessing, and it does not judge me. I can see her standing back there, or it standing back there, not judging, not making any determination, but the highest, supporting the highest. And so from there, I can still make mistakes. I can still choose to, you know, do something that isn't for my highest good, or whatever it is. But from that witness point, I will become very aware that it's not in alignment, because I have basically sort of now an eagle's eye view of the circumstance. I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever, but it's sort of my favorite example of how I see mindfulness and how it can lead to revelation, right? That how the truth of who we really are becomes revealed as we witness ourselves.
And it's that choice of focus and perspective, right? So mindfulness can be just paying attention very much to what you're doing. So whether you're an artist or a creator or a mom, but then mindfulness can expand once we've trained ourselves for this deep focus. Mindfulness can expand to that level of witness. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that you said that way, because that also speaks to that creativity, right? When we have honed the skill, when the glass blower has honed that skill so that they don't have to think anymore about that controlled breath, it's happening. They've done the long focus and long practice, or the artist or the musician or whatever, and then they step back and they can hear the music if they're the musician, or they can see the whole painting unfolding, and they can experience the revelation of the whole thing in the present moment, even if it hasn't manifested yet.
What a beautiful metaphor for being able to have that revelation of who we truly are, the divine embodied in physical form momentarily. Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful metaphor for that. And Margaret, I want to thank you for two things that you taught me in this. One is that very expanded and poignant view of mindfulness, moving into that witness state to experience the truth, right? And the other is more um, down to earth, which is being mindful in focusing our minds on the beauty in our lives. So, focusing our minds on the beauty in our memories and our experiences, focusing on the good and the joy and the successes. And I think that that really does shift our state and allows us to expand into that truth more easily.
I do too. Yeah, because we have to have a certain lightness of being in order to move forward, right? We can't be continually dragging ourselves through the muck, you know, because we do that enough. We do that enough already, and so we have to have enough fortitude to lift ourselves out of the muck and to really see the good parts of every moment of every day and to really be looking for them and to I mean I say both of those things. I say look for the upset, that's another way that we you want to look for those things, but you want to look for the gifts in them. You want to look at the difficulties and look for the gifts. Look for that sparkling dew. Oh, what is being revealed to me here that I can I can offer to uh, to my life, and to whoever I'm serving and whatever I'm serving.
Yeah, that's another beautiful picture metaphor. I love that. Yeah, the sparkling dew that is the revealing the jewel in the lesson.
Mhm.
And when you talked about that feeling of stepping back and seeing ourselves from that witness state, I felt a spark inside me, and it was fleeting, but it was a spark of bliss. It was really lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. That will happen more and more, right? That does happen more and more as we become more mindful. The other thing that happens, which is kind of fun to talk about, is that we start seeing the ridiculous things that we do, and at first it can feel really lousy. It can feel really uncomfortable because it's being amplified, right? It's being magnified by our attention to it, and so it seems like it's worse than it is. So it might seem, when you begin a mindfulness practice, it might seem at first like you're going backwards, like I'm just getting worse, but it's just that you're paying attention to what you're doing. Like you start paying attention to what you're saying, and you notice how many times you say something mean to yourself, and it feels worse, right? Because you're focusing the attention on it. But when you really learn to do that, and you learn to just notice it, then and give yourself the space to notice it, then you have the potential to change it, to do something different the next time. And then as you do that, it gets better and better and more blissful.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I'd like to bring in one of the wisdom keepers for Gene Key 33, mindfulness. I think I'm holding it over the mindfulness part. There we go. Isn't that beautiful?
Hmm.
Yes. So I think I'm going to ask some of the questions for contemplation on this. This is, of course, Wisdom Keeper Oracle deck from Rosie Aronson. So, questions for contemplation. How do you avoid intimacy? Do you hide behind your work, a spiritual practice, or a philosophy? Do you sometimes find yourself offering unasked for advice or criticism, or surprised by others' reactions to what you say? If you weren't worried about Being unenlightened, what feeling, desire, or need might you more easily see and own? These are rough questions, Rosie. Practice mindfulness today. Simply watch your thoughts, impulses, and actions without trying to change, redirect, or censor them. Notice which ones are most difficult for you to look upon with neutral compassion. Oh, I knew she was going somewhere with that. Those are
Yeah,
some questions.
that's a beautiful practice to watch your thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Margaret, thank you so much. This was really enlightening and helped me to see mindfulness in a really new way. Yeah, thank you very much for your wisdom and your expertise.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, Julia.
Yeah. And to our audience, please subscribe and like, and we'll put the link to the meditation video up so you can go right into your meditation and let us know what you found out when you started watching your thoughts. Put it in the comments. Let's share. Let's share. Thank you so much. This has been the Free to Be Free portal.
Thank you.